Today, we're going to explore something pretty profound, this idea of the divine touch of the Upanishads. And it all kicks off with a really simple story. Just a conversation between two people that ends up turning a common word completely on its head. All right, let's dive in.
So the story starts like this. A friend of mine had just gotten back from a trip to China. And as it happens, I'd just been talking a lot about the great Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu. The timing was, well, it was just perfect. So with all these thoughts buzzing around in his head, my friend sees a local Chinese sage and figures, why not? He goes up and asks him a super direct question. Hey, what do you think of Lao Tzu? Seems straightforward enough, right? Well, the answer he got back was anything but. The sage just kind of smiled and said, he was corrupted by your Upanishads. Your Upanishads spoiled our Lao Tzu. Whoa, let that sink in for a second. The Upanishads, these are ancient, sacred Indian texts, really the philosophical heart of Hinduism, and the sage says they corrupted Lao Tzu? They spoiled him? What on earth could he mean by that?
And this is where we get to the heart of it, the central paradox. Because when you and I hear the word corruption, it's instantly a bad thing, right? It's negative. But what the sage said, well, it holds this really rare and deep insight. He's using a word that in this mystical sense means something completely different.
And here's where we can see that paradox laid out. The kind of corruption the sage is talking about, it's not a fall, it's not decay, it's actually the total opposite. It's about rising up. It's a kind of purification. It just completely flips the meaning of the word.
So you see, we're not really talking about everyday language here. We're sort of tapping into the language of the mystics, where words are just pointers to these huge experiences that are almost impossible to describe. This corruption isn't a stain. It's more like a touch of the divine.
So that's the big question then, isn't it? If this whole thing isn't about decay or going bad, what does it actually mean to be corrupted by truth?
And here it is. It's a beautiful answer, really. To be corrupted by truth is to be touched by the divine. It's an experience that totally disturbs your normal life, It shakes you to your very core, and in the end, it transforms you. I love this phrase, a sacred mischief. It's like a divine undoing of everything you thought you were. It's a transformation that might feel chaotic, but it's absolutely a positive one.
And what's so wild is that this isn't just some one-off idea about Lao Tzu. It's like this sacred whisper that you can hear all throughout human history, across so many different cultures.
I mean, think about it for a second. Buddha was corrupted, right? He left his palace, saw suffering, and his whole sheltered reality just shattered. Mahavira was corrupted when he gave up his kingdom to live this life of intense self-discipline. Socrates was corrupted by a philosophical truth that made him question absolutely everything. And Jesus was corrupted by a divine calling. See? They were all totally transformed by a deep truth that rewired their entire lives. And this isn't some New Age concept. For 5,000 years, as long as we have recorded history really, this same divine corruption just keeps showing up. It seems to happen anytime a person gets completely consumed by the fire of their own authenticity. Which brings us to this really beautiful idea, the fragrance of authenticity. This corruption isn't something from the outside coming in to spoil something pure. No, it's an inner fire. It's an illumination from within that just burns away everything that's false.
And here's just this powerful, poetic thought to wrap your head around. Whenever a person has been truly lit up from the inside, when they connect with that deep, authentic part of themselves, if you listen really, really closely, somewhere in the background you can hear the ancient song of the Upanishads humming.
And so, that leaves us with a question for ourselves, doesn't it? As you go about your life, in those quiet moments, try to listen carefully. What ancient song, what call to a deeper truth is humming in the background of your life? Something to think about.